Well, we'd like to welcome everybody out to another episode of the Apex Show and Sell at the Peak live stream. Today we have with us Steve and Angela Barton of Barton Sheep Company, and you may or may not be able to see them, but we can hear them. So, how are you guys doing?
We're doing good. We've we're I guess we can't complain. We're
Finished
here.
lambing, so everything's good right now.
Well, good. Good,
We
good.
can sleep
I'm
at
just
night
sitting here
now.
rocking in my chair. I'm too used to holding a baby right now. So,
Yeah. Yeah, congratulations on your baby.
well, thank you.
Oh,
And yeah, I picked the rocking chair today. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But all
well,
right,
we might
guys.
we might be boring enough that you fall asleep, so
No, I doubt it. I doubt it. All right, guys. So I just want to remind the audience real quick that you can leave your comments and questions online for us, and we can take those live. And there you guys are. I don't know if you're frozen or not, but you're there. So I see your image. Oh, you're moving. Look at that. Technology. It's working for us now. So audience, you can leave comments, you can ask questions. You're more than welcome to, and we will answer them live as we go along. So we're going to start out with the Barton Sheep Company story and how it all came to be.
all right. So it's it's kind of like your typical story, I guess. I grew up showing lambs as a kid all through my 4-H FFA days. I wouldn't say that I enjoyed the last spot in the class, but that's usually where we ended up. And um, so I went to college at SUU, Southern Utah University, did their ag business program there, and um, my brother and I decided that we should probably get serious about the sheep, unless we wanted to be comfortable being last. And so we started doing our own thing and started doing sheep. And about 3 years ago, Angela and I decided to go off and do our own thing, and we and here we are. Our main herd is 35 ewes. Um, we have a good genetic base with Kriego livestock, and another good part of our herd is Hob show lambs. We we built. I feel like we built a good relationship with both of those guys and both companies, and we enjoy doing business with the Hobbs. And obviously we've bought Maverick. We've bought several high profile ewes from them, and we we enjoy their company too. So here we are.
Here you are. Here you are. And you know what? It's interesting you talk about Hobbs and Kriego. They're both going to be at the Apex this year as well. Um, and we're going to be talking with Megan and Joe on Thursday evening.
Sweet.
So that'll be exciting. So everyone that's watching, you can come on out for another round of this and hopefully be just as entertained as you are today.
Probably more entertained, let's be honest.
All right. So, let's you sent me some photos that you wanted to talk about. Let's kind of switch over to that. Um, Maverick. Talk to us about Maverick, why you ended up buying Maverick, the things that excite you about him.
So Maverick, last year I went on a quick trip, um, flew into Oklahoma Friday afternoon, flew out late Sunday, um, or right around there sometime. Anyways, um, I went and saw a lot of great breeders out there, a lot of good sheep, and I went on up to I was in Stillwater, um, went on up to Newton, Kansas to talk to Hobbs, and we were I told Hobbs that we were interested in a Ram Lamb. At that point, we only had Space Cowboy, and we we got talking, and Joe.
Hold on a second. There's a part that he's forgetting. So he went back and I said, you can get a buck, and if you see some really good ewes, you can get them too. Because we decided we're not going for quantity, we're going for quality. And so we went back there and he sent me this huge list of all these ewes that he wanted to get at each place. Anyways, and then he starts going through what they're all out of, and pretty much his whole list at Hobbs were Maverick eels. And so then he was like,
and those were, and well, a lot of the list that I sent her was their yearling ewes that they were getting ready to market on an online sale. And so I'm like, if Mavericks is raising these good of a ewes that I like, I'd like to have him. And they showed me their mature bucks. They pointed Maverick out, and they pointed Lobo out, and for the right deal, and for the right price, we walked away with Maverick and a yearling ewe. And I knew of a ewe lamb that out of all the ewe lambs that I saw that weekend, I knew I wanted this ewe lamb, but they wouldn't sell it to me. And the reason is it went to the main event, so we bought it at the main event. And the next day, it went on. She might be one of the pictures I sent you, Maverick. I mean Riker, but
I'll take that name.
Right, but yeah, she's the one on the left right there. She won the main event, and we brought her home, and she kept winning some jackpots. So
well, she came out and she won the memorial that was at the same time as the Apex. And then we sent her to one of our showmen, and it was kind of exciting because we sent her to the showman, and then we had another girl that was showing you for us that we had raised, and they went to the Nevada State Fair, and RU beat her. So that was pretty exciting that we just spent lots of money and then RU beat her, even though you're beating yourselves. But they got Grand Reserve, and then a few of the other jackpots, they just kept swapping places. So that was an exciting moment for us.
Yes. And then the ewe on the right, that is a flush sister to, we call her the main event ewe. She is a flush sister to the main event. And the nice thing about these two ewes, they are flush mates to their buck Thunder. And so
Okay. Yep.
we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah. So did you get lambs out of both of them this year?
No, we did not. The one on the right didn't catch. It's just the name of the game. And the main event ewe, she did lamb. We AI'd her to unicorn. This has caused some marital fights. And mostly because of me, because I keep saying, mostly because I'm like, hey, let's make a splash out there, let's sell her, and then I get selfish and I say no, let's keep her. So
we will see what we have at the Apex.
so
there may or may not
right
be your
right
favorite
now
lamb.
right now that unicorn daughter's in the keeper pen. So
well, good. I'm just telling you, you got to bring the heat this year. I mean,
oh, we will.
just throwing that out, you know.
we've told Megan and Joe that we want to make them sweat at least. We want to make them nervous. So,
Perfect. Perfect. I think you might be accomplishing that right now. So
so
if nothing else, right? So well, sweet. I wanted to ask you kind of some follow-up questions too.
yeah.
Um, what would you say? I mean, you brought in these two females, but maybe not necessarily one of these two that you've already talked about. But tell me about one of your, favorite females that you've had while you've been raising sheep.
Um, I would, I would go ahead.
Probably our most memorable one is the first one that we ever bought. I didn't grow up around sheep. I didn't ever own sheep. I grew up around cows, and there used to be a sale in Utah, and we went to the sale, and we didn't have hardly any money. We were newlyweds, and Steve was certain we were going to buy a sheep there. And I went and found the sheep that looked most like a cow, and that's the one we wanted. And
Well, I will say I did ask what the hell.
uh, and yeah, him and his brother were definitely thinking that because we spent more on her than
We've ever
both
spent.
both of them thought we should spend on one. And I remember getting in the truck, and his brother said it was a really stupid purchase. Maybe in more colorful words than that, but that was pretty much the extent of it. And after we got her home, we AI'd her, and she ended up producing what is now our donor ewe, and well, the first donor ewe that we've ever fleshed. And she had the
She had reserve.
Iron County Grand Champion.
She had reserve overall.
Reserve overall. And then the daughter that she had went and won a bunch of jackpots. And I mean, every single one out of that line is.
We haven't let a ewe go out of that line since.
Vindication.
Yep.
Right there.
And that is why you always listen to your wife.
That's right. That's right.
One of many reasons.
Right?
All right.
So yeah, that was going to be my pick. Was that one. That was sentimental purposes and flock purposes too.
Yeah. All right. Tell us about the most exciting thing that happened this last year for you guys.
I would say the most exciting part is how do you say it? You could call us obviously a hobby farm. Like we're 35 ewes. And I get super critical of my stuff. I to the point where I probably get way too critical. And we'll throw in a plug on the Apex on this one. I've always wanted to sell a Wether for over $1,500, and and last year when we took our set, I would say you could ask some of the people. I was pretty critical of our stuff. I was very nervous, and when they did as well as they did, I was pumped. Um, I was It was a breath of fresh air. Um, and this Apex was probably one of the better was the first live sale we've ever been to. And we've ever tried. And so it was it was very humbling, and then to turn around and sell the champion natural and the reserve overall Wether for $2,100, it was, you wouldn't hear me complain, and you still won't. it was a good experience. So
Well, good. Good. Yeah. For those of you watching, the average at the Apex was $1,559 per head. So
what
don't
was
let it be a
yours?
secret, anyone,
Mine's
please.
definitely beating ourselves.
So
All right. Was there any customer that you were particularly proud of this year?
all of them.
All
I
of them.
think it's unfair to point one out, because they all do a good job. They all they all they all work hard and within their means, to do the best they can. Um, there is one I'd like to point out. um, he did buy one from us, and it it's a little kid here in Cedar, and like it wasn't so much a win in the show ring. He ended up um, winning the carcass contest in at our county fair, and just to see the smile on his face and the excitement in his face, it's always fun. So it gives you a shot of that's why we do it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
huh?
There's talking going on.
No.
Well, mine was probably we had a guy who's been with us for a few years, and um, I think feeding's always a difficult one for their names are Jason Spencer. They have had a difficult time kind of dialing in on their feeding program. Either we get them, they just getting them to that right weight for their show, and it's exciting they were able to get it to the right weight and get the muscle into that lamb that was required, and he was able to win their share, and that was exciting for them just to have those repeat customers that were able to see the success of the extra effort they've put in.
Yeah, it's always nice to see the growth in the kids, right? That
Yeah.
their first year, maybe they struggle a little bit. They learn a lot, and then they come back, and just every year they get a little bit better. And I think that's one of the coolest things about this industry is just teaching these kids to learn line upon line. Um, so yeah, that's awesome, guys. All right. What's the favorite lamb that you guys have ever raised?
Go ahead.
I'd probably go back to the ewe that we flushed this year. I mean, she's got all the right pieces, and I mean, no, so far whatever we bred her to, it's come out. And in fact, a few years ago we bred her, and we thought that it was a strictly business, and we went to test them, and it was clearly not a strictly business. And she still, so we don't know what her lambs were, but every year she's been consistent. We haven't ever had a flop lamb out of her. They've always either won their class, won their shows. Like they've always been in the top. And I mean, that's what we're striving for in the industry is consistency and top consistency. And we've clearly seen it with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And and I will say, along the with going along with what Angela said, yeah, that mistake was nobody's fault. It wasn't the breeder's fault. It wasn't the tech's fault. But yeah, we just don't know what happened. But yeah, with that, one of the Angela doesn't know this, but when I was feeding tonight and looking into everything, so we flushed. We call her SJ. We flushed SJ to Gorilla, and there is one flush, um, a ram in there that I'm getting pretty excited about. It's going easily to the top of my list that and he'll probably stay intact. So
Oh, sweet.
And they would be going to the Apex, but they're too young of babies, so they can't go.
They're
They
too
just missed
what?
the deadline by a couple weeks. They're too
It's-
Oh,
small. I
too
think
young,
they'll
too
only
small.
be
Got it.
yeah,
40.
they'll be 45 days at the Apex. So
Yeah, that's a little young. That's a little young.
So,
All right, what's your guys' favorite livestock show?
well, I'll let Angela speak this one. I have my ones that I want to go to. I'm just a small town Utah boy that hasn't got out much. I I want to go to the nail. Louisville just seems pretty intense, pretty fun. I think it'd be fun to go to. So
mine's more of a cattle base. Denver was the one that when you were little, it was pretty magical to go to. No matter, I mean, the nostalgia of the yards and going on the hill, you just in the magic of winning. I mean, it just you could tell why it was a national one. It gave something that you don't really feel at a lot of other shows. And granted, I haven't been to sheep shows, so I don't know, but Denver was definitely a top one for me to go to and still is. So
It's
and
not
I
the
still haven't been
Apex.
to Denver.
What the heck,
So.
guys?
of the live shows we've gone to, that
I'm
we've taken
serving you
something to,
softballs here.
it is
Come
top
on.
number one.
All right. What are you guys' hobbies outside of raising sheep and doing sheep stuff?
We have these 3 like miniature versions of ourselves. And I mean, really good hobby. It's shocking how much you see yourself in them. And then you
Mostly
have
very-
to raise it out of them. And you see how impressive you are. So mothering's my hobby. Family is a lot of our events. We're right in between 2 of our families. I'm a half hour one way, he's a half hour another way, and between them, we don't get many chances to do anything else besides baby blessings, baptisms, family reunions. That's probably mine. And
I will say, I am a sucker for a good basketball game.
Okay.
There's nothing like sitting and cheering for the home team and yelling at the refs, good job on one side, and yelling at them on the other side and saying they suck. So
if we were to say where we went places, though, the only time we've gone on trips together, sheep are always included. So I don't think we've
Yep.
gone on a trip with each other where we haven't gone and seen sheep. That's how I was raised. If you went on a trip, no matter what kind of family vacation it was, cows would have to be included in there. I don't know if it was for tax purposes, but it was always
I was gonna say
included.
you gotta at least write it off.
Details.
So that's been ours.
Yeah.
That's probably going to look at sheep, see what people have.
Sheeping. Sheeping is the official hobby.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we got to raise sheep so I can enjoy going to work. They can piss you off enough to be like, okay, work's not so bad. So, but no, we enjoy whatever we do. We enjoy it. We try to. So,
All right. Yeah, you guys open to a few more questions?
let's do it.
All right. What would you name someone who's helped you get to where you are?
I would say my dad. As a person, my dad has always been the one, and I will say my mom. You got to include both of them. My dad,
Because if you don't, someone's gonna be left out.
right? My mom, My mom has taught me to probably forgive too much, but that's okay. Um, and to be a good person. Um, and my dad has taught me that too, but he's also taught me that um, if you want something in life, you better go and get it yourself. And so that's and you got to work hard for it and you got to push for it.
It's perfect.
Mine would probably be my sister Jeannie. She is married to John Griswold, for people that are in the cattle industry. And
Name dropper.
well, then they kind of know who she is. And if you know her, you can see why she is. She's very business minded, very smart, and she's all like, whenever she's who would always take me to my shows when I was younger, and she was pretty much my mini mom. I mean, she would get me out of school more than my mom would, and she always taught me that if you want big success, you have to be prepared for big risks, and she's always pushed that if you're not scared of your dreams, then they're not big enough. And I think being able to go forward with those mindsets has really pushed our program a lot farther. It's made us step out of our comfort zone, and it's made us grow as people. It's made us grow as our sheep company. So
Perfect. Those are both great answers with good insight for everyone. Okay, another question. Best piece of advice that you can give to someone or that you have been given.
If I could start over on the sheep side, like Angela said, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. If I Of course, flushing gets expensive, and so that's hard to say, but I would go get 3 phenomenal ewes, and if you have the money to do it, I would flush them, and I would build off of those that you want. Um, if money is hard, to come by, I would probably get 10 similar genetic pieces and phenotypically similar pieces, and I would AI them. Um, that is going to move your program faster than buying a $2,000 RAM, a $1,500 RAM, and hope you get a hoping that the blind squirrel gets the nut. And so
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Angela.
dream big. Don't be scared of yourself. I think that's what holds us back most of the time is ourselves, and the fear of losing, or the fear of what people might think of you. And I would say dream big, and I would go with him. If you're trying to improve your herd, I would say look at what are your goals. Is your goal to win your county show? Is your goal to win a big, like, and who you're selling to? I mean, if the only people you're ever going to sell to is those county people, then you better believe I wouldn't be going to buy 5 ewes and going to flush them, because those county people at most
You
counties,
will never make your money back.
no, never.
You will never break even. You will never even come close.
Exactly. And
At
so,
least here in Utah. I mean, maybe some of these Texas
yeah,
counties can
that's
get
what I was
away
going to
with
say.
that,
We're both from Utah.
but
But yeah, like, look at who your customer base is, who you are shooting for in your customer base. Because if that, and that's as far as you want your customer base to be, then keep it in that price range and that you're still making money. Because if you're not going to make money, sheep are already really expensive. So expensive.
absolutely. All right, next question. What's a day in the life like for you guys? Oh no. They're frozen. Come back to us. Hello. Hello. Well, this is the nature of technology. Occasionally, it doesn't work. I'm gonna try to get them back here over the next few seconds, and see. Oh, they just completely dropped off. Maybe they're gonna try to log back in. I'm going to try and get them back real quick. Just a little bit of information on Steve and Angela's herd. They will be holding an online sale, I believe, April 5th at SC Online Sales. So feel free to check that out. We're going to see if we can get them back in here, though, real quick. Are there any questions out there among our viewers? Anyone have a burning question in their soul for Steve and Angela when we get them back on? It's okay if you don't. All right. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background information. We do have some future live streaming sessions coming up Thursday with Hobbs Show Lambs. There's Steve on the phone right there. Steve, what's up?
Hey, not much. How are you?
I'm just going to hold you up to the microphone.
Okay, I don't know what went wrong there, but here we are.
Yeah. Can you log back in?
I tried and it's laughing at me.
It's laughing at you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if anyone can hear us right now, but hopefully they can hear you now that you're right next to the microphone. So maybe we'll just wrap it up like this. Your guys' online sale is April 5th, correct? Correct. Okay. So anyone that is looking for sheep, there is an online sale coming up for Barton Sheep Company at SC Online Sales on April 5th. Of course, they're going to be bringing some smoking good ones to the Apex to make Megan and Joe sweat, and hopefully a few other breeders as well. What else is going on for you guys? Anything else that you want to let people know about?
No, so on that online sale, we'll probably have close to five to six Wethers and 4 to 5 U's. And then to the Apex, we plan on taking 2 U's and 1 Wether. And if we can decide on that main event lamb, we will possibly go to Reno. So.
Okay, perfect. Possibly to Reno. Is it okay if I put your phone number out there for everyone to see?
Absolutely.
Okay, this is Steve's phone number. I'm sure you guys may still have some private treaty lambs available. Possibly. Okay, so they may have some private treaty lambs available. Feel free to give Steve a call. His number is 435-590-4360. All right. Anything else you guys want to leave us with? Maybe. Nope. All right.
We've had a handful of people come and they say it's our deepest set yet, and I know they're trying to get us to pull some out of the online sale, so we already told them no.
Don't do it.
There's good ones in there.
It's a trap.
Should check them out because we want to make it as fair as we can to the people who can always come down and to make it give the people that have come to see him a fair price. So check them out. Give us a call. There's going to be some dang good ones.
Okay, last question for you guys. What is a goal you have that you'd like to accomplish as breeders?
For me anyways, there's a good handful. You always have your goals. You always want to win your county, your state level at some point. with a lot of work. We'd love to win a national level show, and quite honestly, sometimes it's not about the money, but sometimes it is. We would love to sell a 5,000 plus, 10,000 plus ewe, and hopefully it happens at the Apex.
Heck yeah, absolutely.
And you know, and we know that to do that, sometimes we got to sacrifice our best. And I will say that is what we're doing this year at the Apex. We are sacrificing our best to make some noise. So
perfect. Any additions to that, Angela?
I just thought he was going really cheap for what his goal is. I mean, I'm shooting for 20,000.
Oh, okay, okay.
For 20,000.
And I
won't say cheaper is expensive.
And I will say, to bring it back to, our main goal as breeders is that if you take a ewe lamb or if you take a wether, that it is functional for you, that it gains good for you, and especially for you, that she's a success for you as a mom. And so that's our main goal.
Perfect.
Is raising functional sheep. So
that's perfect. Well, I want to say thanks to Steve and Angela for joining us on the Apex Show and Sell at the Peak live stream. This is the live stream where we talk to all of the Supreme and Reserve Supreme champion consigners from the previous year. We're going to keep this up going into next year. So for all of you consigners this year, bring the heat so we can have you on to do one of these. Thanks so much, guys. It's been fun. This has been a really good one.
Hey, thank you, Record.
Yep. All right. Just a few reminders for everybody. The Apex Show and Sell is April 8th and 9th in Spanish Fork, Utah. The show will be available on Showbarn Flicks to watch. The sell catalog will be online at SC Online Sells, and it will also be the sell itself will be broadcast through CCI Live, and you can do online bidding there. So if you're looking for a barn burner, the Bartons will be bringing some, and we have a bunch of breeders. I think we're actually already over 200 head in consignments. So we're going to have a bunch of really good sheep and goats available for people that are looking for either their next breeding piece or a show wether. And we'll have lots of good ones. So join us at the Apex Show and Sell on April 8th and 9th, and go. And if you're looking for another good one, their online sale for the Barton Sheep Company is April 5th at sconlinesells.com. All right, folks, that's a wrap on today's show. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.